How's everybody doing today? I have some good, exciting things that I want to talk about today. I'm talking about La Formula, and it is the last document that I'll be talking about in the series of Zena Halpern's documents. I already talked about the two maps, and this is the last thing, is La Formula. La Formula is, in French, it means the formula, or more, it is called the plan. These are all symbols that have been recognized as a cipher called the Kempton cipher. And if you apply the cipher to these symbols, it gives you a message in French, and it is in Old French, or I think it's in Middle French. One of the reasons why I think it's in Middle French is down here at the bottom it says VINGT, or VING is what you can see. It's written in handwriting. VING is going to be the word 20. It's actually VINGT. And VINGT is Middle French. Old French would be VINT, vint. And then the other word here, it says la valeur, which is the value. So it's interesting. This is an interesting thing for me. This is 20, and then we don't know what here, the value. And I believe that this 20, the value, whatever it is in here, 22, I think it might be 26, is the value for the angle of the anchors. Between the two anchors, set up a value of 26 degrees. It was said on Oak Island by the girl that was giving her theory the other night that it's 30 degrees, but I believe it's 26 degrees. And I still am in the opinion that this is a geometric progression. This is the whole plan, the whole system in one. But I'm going to show you something that will be fascinating, that there's a shortcut to finding out the element, which is the most crucial element, is where the money pit is. And I'm going to show you that later on in the video. One thing about this is there are a lot of missing letters, but through the cipher, or symbols, there's a lot of missing symbols, but through the cipher, they have determined the words. One of the words that I'm going to talk about tonight is sosente, it's the word for the number 60, which has been translated I think perhaps wrongly, because there's many words for sesente, many words for 60, and that's an exciting new discovery that I've made. This right here is the 90-foot stone. One thing, just a quick thing, is in the translation of this first segment of the 90-foot stone is the symbol that appears nowhere. It's not even in the Kempton cipher. So this right here is, well, yes, it does. It does appear in the Kempton cipher. I'm sorry, it's Y. But it's not in the formula. That's what I want to say. This is not in the formula. But I believe that this denotes the angle of the 26-degree angle. It's telling you to measure the 26-degree angle so you know it. That was in one of my first videos on geometric progression, which has greatly evolved, believe me. Some of that information I don't agree with anymore. But here is the La Formula. Here's the translation right up here, letter by letter, symbol by symbol. Here's what we're going to talk about tonight is sosente. I have made a determination that this right here is a different version of sosente, and I'll show you the reference to it in the Anglo-Norman dictionary. I believe that the La Formula is also a mnemonic device. In other words, you would remember the text so that you can remember the symbols, so that you could do the geometric progression. I still believe that this is a geometric progression also. Another discovery that I made was there was a missing that nobody knew about. The I was missing, and the C was up here. It's up in this area. It's right here. Here's the C. This is L, E, and then there's the C, and then the next line, it goes to R. So they didn't know they got lay with lay and then C and then R, E, I, D. Well, I found out that, and I actually found this out through the geometric progression, because having an I there was, to me, it was more definitive of what the geometric progression was doing. So anyway, I looked up Siri, and lo and behold, there was only one entry, and it was to these Anglo-Norman Chronicles by Nicholas Trevette. He was a monk back in he was in Middle France, or he was in England, and he did writings, historical writings about the Anglo-Normans in England, and he was in the 12 to 1300, late 1200s. So anyway, this is my interpretation of what that is. It's La Syriad. The ID denotes that Syria is the creators. It's sort of like an adjective. So and this La Syriad is connected to the word or, O-R, which is gold. So this is what I'm interpreting this is the Syriad gold. In other words, gold from Syria. So anyway, these are all the the symbols that are deduced to be missing, and I'll get that back down there so you can see them all. Now this is the Sosente S, and that's an O, but I'm going to show you now that I've changed that to Sosente. Okay, and I'll bring that up. Let's see. So here it is. Here's the Anglo-Norman dictionary. This is this is the best reference for Old French. Okay, so Middle French is going to have a lot of Old French words still in it. And here's the Sosente, and I think even Sosente is here. Here's the Sosente up here, and you can see that it's got two S's in the middle. This Sosente only has one S in the middle. So the missing letters are S and E in this, and the missing letters here are S and O, but you're still missing an S in the middle, and I'll show you. So Sosente, one of the things is this reference here. Here's the Sosente, and you go to this reference, and the reference to it is the Anglo-Norman voyage of Saint Brennan, which here again we're talking about Anglo-Norman. So a lot of these words are Norman, and that fits right in with Philip I, who is mentioned on the map as the young Lion of Thomont, and he was a Norman. So we'll go on. Oh yes, I wanted to show you the Anglo-Norman voyage of St. Brennan. So the voyages of St. Brennan, he was, let's go up here, he was a monk that died in 578. So he was a 6th century monk. He was a Celtic saint, and he was an abbot and a hero of legendary voyages in the Atlantic Ocean. Isn't that wild? So here we go. We're looking at this guy, and what does it say about him? Saint Brendan makes an astonishing Atlantic journey with other monks to the promised land of the saints, later identified possibly as the Canary Islands, which he reaches after a prolonged search. So it's interesting. This guy is like going out to the Canary Islands on a boat back in the 6th century. Very interesting. So that's Sosente. This is the the letter by letter decipherment of La Formula. And if you put here, here's the missing S on the most current version of it. This is the most accepted version, that it's a Sosente. You're missing an S right here. But if you use this word right here and change, and this is SE, then it makes a perfect sense. I have this E marked here because this is an anomaly, the only anomaly word in this whole cipher, which is halta, and halt means stop. That is in French, but it does not have an E. And it's one of the reasons I believe this is a geometric progression, because without these 2 dots in the geometric progression, you can't continue, because the next sequence, it's dependent upon those 2 dots. So that's just that. Okay, so here I have a little study that I did, and this is very amazing here. I already went over this about the formula, the plan, the value. Here's all the missing symbols. If you take these missing symbols and you can do 2 things with them, you can descramble them or put them together, and these are the French words that come out. And these French words are all in that Anglo-Norman dictionary that I showed you. They're all in it, every single one of them. How they go together, I don't know. I don't know enough about Old French or Middle French grammar, or French grammar for that matter. But I was able to cobble together, and if any of you people out there that know more about French, certainly probably more than I do, can look at this and make sense of it. This is what I came up with. Who has that good judgment? So I think it says something in Middle French, to tell you the truth. But this, again, if you know the missing letters, if you have this and you take out the missing letters, and you know this statement here, you can assign symbols to it. And if you can assign symbols to it, you can make a geometric progression. And here is the hidden geometric progression. And to me, it's very simple. To others, it's hard to see. This right here, this line is Nolan's cross. This is a point in black. These are all color-coded. In black, you start from Nolan's cross. You start from the headstone point, which is the X. You make a point out. Then you triangulate and make a line. Okay? Or you triangulate and make these 2 lines. Then the next thing is you drop down from that point that you just made, because that's why you made it. Drop down to here, which, by the way, will be the anchor stone. Okay? The south anchor stone. And then you're going to X up. You're going to X up. And the reason why you're going to X up and X down is you're going to create this parallel perpendicular points here. Parallel and perpendicular. So you went up here, you went up, and that's the other thing why you sort of need to know that angle from that I showed you before, the 26 degrees. If you know that angle, then you can go to right here to where I think may be the north anchor stone, or just recently I think it may be just the corner that you determine from the anchor stone, which may be up here a little bit to the northwest by Fred Nolan's surveys. But I haven't determined that yet. So anyway, after you make this perpendicular parallel line, then you're going to do a triangle. You're going to create that triangle by these points, okay? And then you're going to create another triangle, but see, you can't just stop there. You have to read ahead, okay? This triangle is also going to be concentric or equal with a center line, or if you want to go with the more, this is Sosente, remember? This is from Sosente. So this is the other current one. It still works out. Both of them work out geometrically right. Either it's got to be equal to the center line or equal in its points, which is the sides. So you make a triangle there, make a triangle there. So we got two triangles. Here's the blue one, here's the gray one, and they both have to be concentric. So they go down here. So you got the bottom. And then you have a line that's going to complete a triangle, or that's going to be square. So you have this purple line that goes here, so you square that up. And then the last step is you go from the perpendicular point down, and that perpendicular point is at this, at the where this cross section, which is actually the anchor stone line, you go from that point down to here. So you're going down from this point and make a line. And that's the end, that's the termination. And that is where the money pit is. That's how you find the money pit. So let's see, that's pretty much all I have for you guys today. And I thank you for watching.